Hmm. I want you to talk about the CMOS and stuff in a minute. You gonna be in there? You gonna be working, or you just gonna be just gonna?
Running on your page.
It's not.
You doing your Facebook page, right?
Yeah, you know another page I have.
You got a YouTube channel as well.
It's on all of them.
Okay, there we go.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Do me a favor, invite somebody, share. I have the distinct honor and privilege, Project Earbuds founder and host, Mr. Anthony Webster. We have a medical professional. She runs clinics and hospitals. She sees Fred often. This is Miss Jayla Barnes. And yours truly, Terrence Pickett. Do me a favor, invite somebody, share, bring them on. Got some great information we're going to give to you, and I want you to get ready to come to get your backpack. So let's talk about Project Earbud first. Can you give us what is Project Earbud? What is your mission?
Good morning, everyone. Project Earbud. So,
Go ahead and pull your mask down. So.
I got this, sir. Thank you. Gotta stay COVID safe.
Appreciate
Got
it.
over a little bit, just in case they can't hear me clearly. So, yes, Project Earbud is a nonprofit organization. I was inspired by, I was touched by some of the things that I witnessed that's been going on here in Jacksonville regarding violence. And I'm a music artist, producer, songwriter, and I was trying to figure out what could I personally do to try to help curb the violence and things that's going on here in the city. So I was inspired to begin Project Earbud, where we use music and arts to teach youth in new behaviors and ways to deal with conflict and violence. So we began 2018, forged partnerships with the Duval County Public Schools, Team Up, Boys Club, and we reached a lot of youth during that time frame. Go to our website, projectearbud.org. You'll see more info there. So now that we're trying to figure a way now during COVID to still touch the youth and impact the youth. We have a lot of youth here in the building now that you all can't see. Distinguished gentlemen is in the building, so they're helping with these backpacks. And we're just trying to find a way to give back, man. So we know some of the students are going to be doing virtual classes and online, so we want to give laptops, and we have sanitation kits and all kind of cool stuff that we're trying to help give back to the community with.
So I think that's good. Shout out to Anthony Webster for even having this idea, this vision, to be able to give back to our community, to also look out for our kids. You know, the camera is an amazing thing. It puts about 10 pounds on you. I lost weight, but in this camera, it's, my God, I look bigger than him.
He is. Second trimester.
So we also have with us a medical professional. Like I said before, she's seen him, but she works in the medical field. Her name is Miss Jayla Barnes. Can you tell us who you are, what you do?
Absolutely. I'm going to leave my mask on.
I'll take it off later.
Right. I'm going to leave mine on and project. I'm used to wearing it all day because, of course, in the hospital world, we are in masks and gloves and shields and the whole nine. So I'm here to give greetings both to you all, but to be a support to the projects that are going forth here for parents whose children are going back to school, those who are also keeping their children home. There's been a lot of conversation and questions about how do you stay safe in both arenas. How do you protect yourselves against this virus going forward? We've been experiencing it now for several months, and so this is going to be the mainstay for a while. And so we've got to get used to, unfortunately, this life. And so while it is an inconvenience because we like to see each other's smiles and facial expressions, the mask is a very important role that we all need to get used to as it relates to our day-to-day routine. But more importantly, with our little ones going back to school, you aren't a part of whatever their daily routine is going to be when they're at school. But the recommendations have not changed. Well, we're still talking about adequate hand washing, use of hand sanitation, the mask. I mean, those are the main things. Social distancing when possible, which means the 6 feet, so you don't really require the mask so much when you're 6 feet from others. But you always keep it on, or at least nearby, because when you're going to be in close quarters, it's recommended to be on. So as we go forward, I'm sure there'll be other questions and we'll entertain some more dialogue about it. But I'm Jayla Barnes. I've been a nurse practitioner and actually in the medical profession for over 20 years. So I love what I do. I've worked everything from trauma and ICU to now managing this pandemic that we're all facing, but I get to see it on the front line. So there's questions that you may have, and we'll entertain that later.
Thank you so much, Ms. Barnes. Thank you, Anthony Fred Webster. So there are a few things that I want to add.
Are y'all praying? Are y'all praying?
So when you can't read and you look for the pictures, this how you look, right? You look for the pictures. But anyway, y'all already know how we do. But there are some natural things that we can do to not only help with the safety of our children, but to also, I think, there are some imperative things that you need to know in terms of your immune system, especially those that are going back to the school. You're actually leaving the house and you're going into the physical building. You need to make sure that your immune system is built up. There is, and if you're up under doctor's care, I would consult my doctor about it. But there's all natural medicine that is in the earth. The Bible says that the healing was in the trees. And I know a lot of people think that that means,
Keep going.
well, there's a lot more to it than that. There's a lot more. I'm not knocking you. I'm judging you. You do what you do. But no, there is something that's in the ocean. It's called sea moss. A lot of people have heard a lot about the sea moss. I've been taking it probably, I think I started, Cassandra, November, December last year. It was way before the pandemic.
Yeah, it was before the pandemic, yes.
So I have the owner and one of the sponsors of this event, which is A Taste of Miami, coming to talk to us. I want to ask her some questions. I came in here to get some food because the food is good here at A Taste of Miami. And while I was here, Cassandra and I got in a conversation, myself, her, and her husband, Melvin. And you were talking about what the sea moss had done for your mom and your family members. Tell us about that.
Well, actually, I started about almost 2 years ago.
She sounds like she's sitting on a sofa though.
I know, right? I started about 2 years ago on taking the sea moss, and I wasn't taking it regular. I was just taking it here and there, putting it in smoothies, going places and buying it and putting it in my smoothies. And then I started noticing a difference in it. So of course I started sharing it with family members and saying, hey, this makes me feel so much better. I had a lot of health issues going on. So once I started taking it on a regular basis, about 6 months later, I went to my doctor just to get a regular checkup. And he asked me, he said, I don't know what you're doing. He said, but you don't need half of these medications anymore. I was on 11 pills a day, went down to 2, and now I'm down to 1. That I really don't take every day because I don't see myself needing it. So I kind of take it whenever I feel like it or whatever, whenever I think about it. I have lost like 40 pounds on it. I gained about 10 back. But, you know, and initially I lost about 40 pounds until everybody started asking me, was I sick or something. So then I, started, doing some little things and adjusting my meals. But with sea moss provides you alone 92 of the minerals that are in our body, that our body requires. Our body requires 102. So in our blend of sea moss, we add bladderwrack and burdock root. Once you add the bladderwrack and the burdock root, then you have your full 102 minerals that your body is made of. Now, here's the thing. Everybody doesn't have those full 102 minerals in your body. And that's what causes sickness and disease to come about. So once you add those minerals to your body, it helps your body to fight off sickness and disease, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, gout, heart disease, all of those different things. There's only one disease, which is mucus. So when mucus take over your pancreas, that's nothing but diabetes. You know, so here's the thing. You take the bladderwrack and the burdock root, those things flush out all the mucus in your body, along with the sea moss providing you with your minerals that you need, your minerals and your vitamins that you need. Then we add soursop to ours. Soursop is actually a natural fruit, all natural fruit that God put on earth for us, and it acts as chemotherapy. Whereas chemotherapy takes away all of your good and bad cells. It kills your good and your bad cells. The soursop fruit actually kills the bad cells, and that's it. So we add that to it. So if you have any underlying cancer cells that are sitting there in your body, once you take that soursop, it's going to do what it needs to do to get rid of it. We also add dandelion root. Especially for black people, we suffer from high blood pressure. What that dandelion root works as is like a diuretic. So it flushes that excess water off of you. So with that, with all those different components, inside our sea moss, you have your full 102. Plus you have your soursop, which is going to kill your cancer cells if you have any in your body. And then dandelion root, which is going to act as a diuretic to get the excess water weight off of you. So the soursop and the dandelion root, the burdock root, the bladderwrack, and the sea moss all together is a way to keep your body fighting so that you don't receive all of these challenges that, you know, is going around right now. So I've been on it. My family is on it. My daughter had a lot of aches and pains. She's only 29 years old. She had a lot of aches and pains from being hurt in the military. I started her on it when she was in Korea in January. And she was in between coming back home, and she ran out. Between leaving from Korea and coming back home to the States. But she noticed once her body was off of it that she started to ache again. So when she got back home and got back on it, she's had no problems with the pain in her knees and everything. So it works very well.
It does. My dad had swelling in his legs, his ankles, diabetes, some other health issues. After being on it for maybe 2 weeks, it flushed all of the fluids and stuff out of him. I've been on it. Now, it does some amazing things for your body. It puts you in all kinds of moods. So if you're married and fellas, you're having problems with your Jolly Rancher, your Jolly Rancher has been looking like a soggy hot dog.
Y'all not praying.
The sea moss, not only will the sea moss chase out sickness and disease, but the sea moss will give you a second chance at life. You will be strong again. You will stand, having done all to. Come on now. Stand.
Yes.
You will stand.
Y'all plug your ears. Y'all plug your ears.
So, a lot of you,
Oh my God.
a lot of you may have.
Well, I got an owl picture.
You may have penis dysfunction. God wants to heal you.
Hey man, this kid is watching.
All right. Well, the kids need to know,
The kid.
because some of the kids, they playing and stuff. They don't need to know. So if you got STDs and stuff, this will flush everything out of you.
Medical professional, is that true?
I'm not. We go. What's the next? What's?
All right. So, Cassandra, thank you so much for your help. I want to thank you in Melvin for allowing us to use A Taste of Miami. We are live at A Taste of Miami. You need to come here and get your sea moss. It has everything that the body needs. In addition to that, you can get you some good food. For those of you, this is another question I have. I see all these women jogging, but y'all ain't losing no weight. What's going on? All right. So we want to thank Cassandra and Melvin we're at A Taste of Miami. We're getting ready to give book bags away in the next 15 to 20 minutes. So make sure you make your way up here. You can meet us outside. We're going to give you free backpacks.
Sanitation kits. Sanitation kits are also inside of these backpacks. Hand sanitizer, mask, and also gloves. So you can send your kids back to school prepared for COVID safe and friendly. We're also going to raffle off 3 laptops. I opened up for people to send in names yesterday through this morning. So I have those names. We're going to let someone draw them out of a hat, and whoever name we choose, we will deliver to you a free laptop courtesy of Project Earbuds for your child to use for school this year. I got to give a shout out to the sponsors. I know it's scrolling across your screen, but SNS.
It's a T in strolling.
Well, that's a stroller. You can take a stroller. Take a stroller. That's what it was. But anyway, SNS Custom Exhaust. Excuse me. SNS Custom Exhaust. Thank you all for your sponsorships. They're located on St. John's Bluff. Go and see them. They do amazing work. Kendrick Care Emergency Transportation Services. You can look them up, Google them. Thank you all so much for your support. Voices Institute, Selena Webster Bass, thank you for your support. Edible Blessings, distinguished gentlemen, these young men are here on a Saturday morning helping to pack the backpacks.
Keeping everything strong.
All right, so these young men are from many schools, but specifically Ribault High School, my alma mater, Ribault, stand up, Whitney Drive, Northside all day.
You did a good job teaching your pictures. But you got to read what's among the
So next, what we'll be doing next, as we're dealing with this COVID, we want the perspectives to help bridge this gap. So that's why we have a healthcare person on the panel. But I also want to hear from the students. So we have a few young people that we're going to be bringing on. And just hearing, how did you all help cope during this COVID pandemic? I mean, it came on heavily, schools closed. This summer you all couldn't go out and do things that you would usually do. Seniors couldn't march like they usually would. So yes, so the first guest that we'll be bringing on is Miss Paxson Advanced Studies. Her name is Trinity Webster Bass. This is the Miss Paxson 2020-2021. She's on screen now. How are you doing, Trinity? Let's give her a hand. Can you hear us, ma'am?
Hold on 1 second.
Now with us 1 second. James is doing a lot of talking but not working the system properly. Talking about CMOS and standing up. We need you to unmute the mic, sir.
Trinity, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well.
Good. Thank you for joining us this morning, everybody. This is Trinity Webster Bash. We bring our own round of applause. So you are Miss Paxson?
Yes, sir.
All right. We have the prestigious honor to have you on this morning. And Anthony, talk a little bit.
We just want you to have real conversation. We may have some youth teens who's tuned in now. Obviously, with Earbud, we teach youth how to journal and process through things in a healthy way. Oftentimes, when we're approached with stressful conflicts, we tend to react and not respond. So that's what we focus on doing with Project Earbud. But what do you do when you initially heard about COVID and the pandemic and the life changes that's taking place right now? What are some of the things that you did to help cope and get through this time frame?
Well, at the beginning of quarantine, when I was still in school, I feel like it was much easier to cope, especially with being able to like stay in touch with my friends. I was like FaceTiming friends every single day. We would get on calls just to study with each other and doing stuff like that. But once school got out and like I couldn't really interact with people that much, later into quarantine, I started picking up new hobbies. So I picked up painting. My sister and we would start painting together, and it was a way for me to bond with my siblings. I also picked up journaling more. I was really big on journaling before quarantine, but then I kind of just like dropped it. But like now that we're like basically 6 months into quarantine, I definitely picked it back up, and meditation too. The benefits of that just like really made me more calm, less anxious about like things that are coming up, and like will I be able to go back to school, like the increasing cases. So yeah, those are the things that like really helped me during this time.
That is excellent. You gave some great suggestions there. So painting, journaling, from a healthcare perspective, how do you feel about those things?
I actually like that you said that. Part of the challenge that parents are going to face with this pandemic is you're home with your kids a lot more and can't go places. So much like you mentioned there, you've got to be creative with finding ways to utilize your time. Socialization is going to be huge with kids who can't see their friends quite often. We are doing a lot of things via Zoom and the internet. And so there are times when we're going to have that quiet time to ourselves. And I think if the idle mind can always get us into trouble if we're not careful. So I think you bring out great points and great use of your time to say, let me invest in myself by journaling. Some people may be readers. Painting is a wonderful outlet. You don't have to be this grand artist in order to produce work that speaks to your own personal feelings or what have you. So I think that is wonderful. You mentioned those things. What else have you adjusted or that you found difficult during this time that you had to kind of work through?
What I found most difficult was, I think mentally wise, not trying to be so hard on myself about during this time, because I found myself like really just not wanting to be like productive, not wanting to do my work, just having like a hard time still being engaged with life and like still trying to just be happy even though I can't really go outside. So I really tried to not really force myself, but make myself do the things so I could still get something out of my day. So like I started like making schedules for myself. I didn't like really have to follow them strictly, but like I just give myself a list of things to do. So like today I'm going to like clean my room, read a book, FaceTime a friend, and work on my summer work. And that would be like my 4 things of the day. And like the next day, if it was like an ongoing task, I would continue those tasks or I would come up with new things. And I always made sure to include something that was like downtime or something that helped me to just decompress and relax so I wasn't so uptight.
That's perfect. Scheduling, I think, is very important. And I love that you schedule both your free time as well as give yourself tasks to do so that you still have productivity in your day despite the limitations on what you're able to do. So I hope people are listening to that and taking that to heart, because if we don't have an expectation of our day, we can spend 3, 4, 5, and before you know it, 8 hours on social media or in bed or being less and less productive. And in this time, that becomes then your daily routine or your habit, and you get too comfortable. I think we can definitely get too comfortable being isolated, being alone, not being productive. And this is a time with all this downtime that we have. This is a time where I would love to see young people doing things like what you're doing, but also finding out about business, finding out about finance, Googling things, starting your own business. I mean, this time should not be a time where we focus so much on boredom versus creativity. How then can we utilize this downtime to then do things that are going to be productive for us? I love that you're being a role model in that way by saying that. So that's huge. So scheduling is important. Finding activities that you can fill your day with, and then also using the time to scheduling time to still socialize with your friends, because we don't want isolation to become too common, because that can lead to depression and some other things. So we have to be careful. So love that. Very good. Very good. Good job.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with everybody, Trinity?
I guess I'll share some words of encouragement. I know that for Duval County, we're starting school for the Duval County Public Schools. We're starting school on the 20th, Thursday of next week. And I would encourage everyone to just remember to take time for yourself and to take everything one day at a time, because sometimes being alone at this time is really difficult. Staying organized is always so important. Just because you're at home doesn't mean you have to stop doing your normal routine as if you were going to school. So yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Well, Trinity, thank you so much for coming on today. Thanks for sharing your time, educating us, motivating us, and giving us some great words of encouragement. Tell your parents I said hello, and tell your dad he's still my favorite armor bearer, okay?
Yes, sir.
This is how we do. Now, this next young man is no stranger to our community, Mr. Gregory Streeter. I've known him since he was an itty bitty kid. Now he's a big kid, young man. So, how has this pandemic affected you? What are some of the concerns that you have with going back to school?
Basically, how it affected me. Basically, when it started, I was just, being a young man, just like, I ain't really all that serious at a point in time. But, in the long run, I was thinking about it like, this is really serious. Mm-hmm. Because, known fact, my mom is a nurse, at Mayo Clinic. When everything first started, I don't live with her anymore. But when it first started, she got COVID. Mm-hmm. So I was like, wow. And when she told me, I actually broke down in tears, because, I'm thinking like, yo, this is COVID. It's really serious. My mama got it. I don't know how it's going to affect her. And in the long run, I don't know if I'm going to be without a mom or if it's going to pass over.
Right.
Lo and behold, God's will, she got rid of it. COVID-free.
It's good. And I think everybody needs to know that as much as COVID is talked about, it really still can't be explained. The suffering that patients go through, Jayla can tell us more about that, but the suffering that these patients go through, this is really a serious time, and it's not time for us to be careless. If you can stay home, stay at home. When you go to school, keep your mask on. Keep sanitizer in your hands. For all you kids that like to steal, this is not the season to do it.
Nope, don't do it.
Okay, don't do it. All right.
Don't do it.
So now going back to school, are you going to a building? Are you homeschooling? What's going on with you?
Well, I'm going back to school.
Okay. What school do you go to?
Sandalwood High School.
Sandalwood High School. The Saints
Yes, sir.
are not saints. But go ahead.
But no, really, my mom, she knows how I work, how my mindset is, and I'm a people person. I'm a hands-on type of guy.
So stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a people's person. You're a hands-on type of guy. So you dap up, hug your friends.
Basically, yeah.
So we've had to change that. One of the things me and my friends do is we elbow each other, right?
Yeah.
Or foot bump each other.
Foot bump.
Or just look at each other.
I've never foot bump.
Foot bump.
You just
Yeah,
look at
let me
each
show
other.
you how to do it.
Foot bump.
That's called kid and play.
Foot bump.
Kid and play.
Okay, there it is.
There it is.
Foot bump. There it is.
That keeps the contact, and it's not that we don't love each other, we don't care about each other, but you got to minimize your contact. You can't be hand in hand. You don't know who has it.
Definitely.
You don't know who have it. You don't know who. He talking about he treated everybody like that, but he did a rap video. He's 90 years old. He did a rap. He had all his little homeboys around. I'm like, man, come on. At 40, just give it up. But anyway, you got to be careful of the crowd, the company that you keep, You got to be careful about where you go. All the hanging out after school, before school, you're going to have to minimize that and create some distance.
Yes. Well, with going back to school, like I said, being a people person, me, I know myself that really, I'm not one to sit in front of a computer all day because that's not really me. I need to be, like, if I'm learning, the teacher needs to be here, and I need to be here.
In other words, you don't trust yourself
I don't.
too much
I
time.
really don't. Honestly, I really don't. If I sit at the computer all
That's
day,
fair.
watch my phone, all that good stuff, I'm
That's
not going to be
fair.
at school like
Right.
I'm supposed to be.
That's
I'm just
fair.
telling the honest truth.
Some
I
people
just
can't do that independent.
That's just not me.
I gotcha.
So I rather go back to school, and you know, with football and everything like that. With the crowds, it's going to be a minimum crowd playing football as well. So we still
It's
get
a
to
lot
play
to
football.
adjust to,
It is.
yeah.
It is. But you know,
It's where we are.
things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
Things happen for a reason. So hopefully, by the time this year is over, everything will be blown past. That's what
But
that's
until then, we want to make sure that we're doing our part in terms of social distancing. You can't hang out with your homies and be dapping each other up all in the girl face. Most of these little girls need mints anyway. Some of these kids too young for their breath to smell the weed. I mean, feeding Fritos is, but we gotta do better. But we gotta do better. So, Greg, thank you for coming on. Thanks for sharing your concerns. I want to bring the founder of Project Earbuds back to give us some final words, and then I want Jayla Barnes to give us some final precautions, and we'll be giving away book bags after that. So if you are home right now, you need to come to A Taste of Miami, 1440 Dunn Avenue. We're in Suite 30, I believe 32 something. It's A Taste of Miami. It's next to a bank. Okay, you can read, can't you? Unless you went to Jackson, you can read, right?
Oh my God.
Anyway, but make sure you all come to A Taste of Miami. We're here. We're going to be passing out backpacks. There's no charge, free, and we're going to do a raffle for laptops. We're giving away free laptops today. All right. So if you're at the house, make your way to A Taste of Miami, 1440 Dunn Avenue. A Taste of Miami, 1440 Dunn Avenue. Greg, thanks so much for your time.
Yes, sir.
All right.
It is.
Yo. And we're gonna bring, which name you going by today? These rappers have so many names. Okay, we're gonna bring Amp Webster back. And here he is.
Okay, so my goal was to have an educator, a person on behalf of Duval County School Board present, which I understand that they're strict about statements being made on behalf of the Duval County Public Schools. So therefore, I couldn't get any of my DCPS people to come in. But as an anonymous person, I have a friend of mine who is a principal at a school in the area. And they said, no, listen, G-code all day. So, do you
We know what anonymous is.
have that picture that I sent you? Are you able to bring that on the screen?
I didn't load it, so I can't bring
Wow.
it up.
All right. So I had visuals to show you people at home of how they've set up the classroom and helped prepare it for the children coming back to school. And I'll be honest,
We'll have it.
I'm a parent as well. I have 2 children in college right now, and I have 3 that's currently in DCPS. So I'll be real. I was extremely concerned. I don't want my kids going back in the building. I see the COVID spiking here in Florida. I'm like, why would I send my child back into an environment that has hundreds, thousands of children that's touchy-feely all day long? How does that make sense? It doesn't make sense to me. So once, I can't say I'm okay with it now, but I'm going to share the information I got. And seeing this information made me feel better about it. I'll say it that way. So first off, Duval County Public Schools, on their website, they actually have an entire page dedicated towards sharing information that every single school is doing and that they're mandated to do to prepare for the students coming back during COVID. So that's on their home page, and it's titled Back to School 2020 on the dcps.duvalcountyschools.org website. It's Back to School 2020, and you can go read their words and see what they're doing there to help you feel more comfortable. But specifically what she's doing with her classroom, you see the picture you didn't put up? See that? So they have these clear desk shields that cover the entire desk. It looks like they're probably about 2 feet high, maybe a foot and a half. They're about this tall, covering all 3 sides. And the desks are spaced out now, so you have your shield, and every desk is about 3 feet apart. So the classes aren't arranged as they were previously. So one thing that she's doing, when you walk the hallways during the change of classes, she has one bell that rings. She's only using half of the hallway at a time. Well, first thing, she's made all of the classes linear. So when students change classes, they don't have to walk around the school anymore. You go from one class to the class right next door. All right, and then after that class, you go to the class next door to that one. So she's rearranged her entire school where any student changing classes only has to go 1 or 2 classes down. They ring the bell, they allow half of the students to travel, escorted to that next room, spaced out, and then a second bell rings that allows the opposite side of the hallway to change their classes. So those are a few of the things that she's put in place to avoid it. They have multiple entryways where they're pre-screened before entering the school. So temperatures are taken before the students are allowed to come into school. They have checkpoints and desks that are the only place that students can come in, and they take their temperature at those entryways. They're sitting students 3 to a table instead of 10 to a table during lunch. So at the lunch table, where it can hold 5 on each side, now it's only 3 students at the entire table. So they've added lunch periods to allow the students to be 3 to a table versus 10 to a table. They're using district breakfast in the classroom option to limit contact opportunities.
District breakfast.
District breakfast, meaning government breakfast. They're gonna have a box. They have a box of biscuits they're gonna put on your desk.
Do they come in a black and white can?
Powdered milk. Y'all don't know about powdered milk. They don't know about that.
They don't know
Canned
about
peanut
that.
butter. Y'all don't know about that.
Look where you brought us from.
Hey, so no, but they're gonna issue out breakfasts in little boxes,
Breakfast.
multiple breakfast packets
Yeah.
that they're going to issue out
Breakfast is
and allow the
not a
students
word.
that they're going to allow the students to eat at their desk, and then they dispose of them at their desk. Sanitizing all of the classrooms. She had about an 8-step process that made me feel more confident, where a student could actually go to school and not have to come within 6 feet of anyone as they go in the building and as they go home. So one other perspective I have on it is this: just like with everything else that we do as parents, it starts at home. You have to prepare your child for how to go out and interact in a public environment. You have to tell them no more dapping and hugging and in each other's face. Absolutely not. If you decide to allow them to actually go back. So the training starts at home, where you really drill it down, instill it in them that this is not a game. You don't know where these children go home to. You don't know what their practices and their procedures are. So you really have to take it extremely serious. And so for the parents that don't even want to roll the dice, that's why we decided to try to buy a few laptops and give those out so we can do the virtual homeroom and allow the students to stay home and be safe.
That's good, man. That's good. I even want to thank, man, the distinguished gentlemen. You know, when you hang around ignorance, it gets on you. Did y'all hear him say breakfasts? His parents, they sent him to school. He just didn't go.
Okay, folks.
Look.
No, the distinguished gentleman, like I've watched these young men come in this morning. They're extremely respectful, sharp men. I love their logo. I love the director. The director is actually like a little brother to me, the founder and owner and director. He's like a little brother to me. Mr. Williams, how are you this morning? Sorry to put you on the spot. You doing all right?
I'm doing well. You did do that, but it's okay.
I'm so sorry. But I just want to commend you with the work that you're doing with these gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
I think it's good, man. Straight up. Straight up.
Actually, I have a number of guys that's graduated, a number of guys that's in school, and then I have the middle school guys. So a lot of my guys that I'm looking at,
Daycare.
oh yeah, also thank you, sir. I also have a daycare group of kids. Mainly it's the young men. I talked to someone yesterday, and if we do not lay the foundation,
It's good.
despite that we have mother and father inside the household, then our guys will be lost. We can complain about the violence, we can complain about the killing, but if nobody actually step up and try to help make a difference and see a role model so they can pattern their life around, or at least give them an example, then we will still have the streets like Jacksonville is. So that is why I even formed this group called Distinguished Gentlemen. We and our pink. Pink mean love. We want to express love to one another. You see my shirt, you see the big guy on there and the little guy on there. The big guy means a mentor. The little guy means mentee. And all of my guys, that's why we have adopted a daycare. And one of my classmates from Andrew Jackson, she's running out for, just plugging up for
Call her name.
Cynthia Smith, no problem.
That's right. Vote Cynthia Smith.
Please vote Cynthia Smith. Her daycare is called Mind of the Future. And
like
those
it.
guys go there every Monday in Mind of the Future and mentor those little kids in her academy. So that's what we're all about pouring into one another and trying to make a difference one child at a time.
Appreciate that. We appreciate the work that you're doing in the community too. So many of our heroes are not acknowledged that are actually putting in the work. I know how hard and tough it is to mentor young men, especially young black men. Society hates them. And they only hate them because they're first. Every nationality comes from black. So it's not just about our color, it's about our position. We're the original kings and queens of the earth. Every nationality in the world want what comes natural to us. That's why they doing Botox, that's why they adding stuff to their hips, the butt. We got it natural. We were first.
Don't go left. He go stay.
Right? So tell that to all you little churches, Church 22, Celebration. Okay. But thank you for the work that you do in our community. Thank you for who you are in our community. Thank you for being a shining beacon of light. Thank you for handling these guys, these men. I think they have a better chance because you're in their life. And I really appreciate that. So we're getting ready to hand out our backpacks. I'm going to bring the founder back one more time for some final words. We are at 1440 Dunn Avenue at A Taste of Miami. The best food in Jacksonville is right here. If you want ribs, seafood, greens, collards, rice, mustard greens, sea moss, or maybe you've given up land animals and you're cute now. You want to do vegan. Well, they have that too. They've got vegan egg foo young. Huh? Yeah, right here at the Taste of Miami, the best wings on the planet as well. When you come in, tell them Terrence Pickett sent you, and you'll get a discount. That's how we roll.
I want to say thank you again to our sponsors, S&S Custom Exhaust, Kendrick Care, Edible Blessings, Voices Institute. Terrence Pickett, I appreciate you, sir, for allowing us to take your coffee time space to give back to the community and educate everyone going back to school. You're a good brother.
Yeah.
Thank you so much as well
I do.
for taking time
Absolutely.
from saving lives
Thank you.
to share your knowledge with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Distinguished gentlemen,
Thank you, Jay.
appreciate y'all packing these bags for
Get that
us.
mask off for you. What we
So
gonna
listen,
do?
what type of music did you all play to help y'all cope?
Oh, let me tell you what I heard this morning.
We not ready.
So listen, these are the names of the people that emailed me, that followed the instructions and emailed me the names What I'm not going to do is I don't want to use this as an opportunity to expose people that's in need. So I'm not going to say your full name, but just so you know if you won or not, so you can expect the phone call, because we have to be able to bring it to you. I'm going to use either your last name or your first name so they know that you won, and you can expect the phone call. I'm going to call you within the hour. Please answer the phone, or if you miss it, call back. But I'm going to let... So
Now,
you know it's
if
not
your
real.
first name or last name is called and you didn't send in the email, guess what? We ain't talking to you. It ain't church. It ain't church.
All right, so back on this music, we gonna draw these names in back 60
Yeah,
seconds.
yeah.
So what name of artists you all listen to this summer to help you get through your quarantine moments?
Don't do it.
All right, we got one that said Kurt Franklin.
My man. Yeah.
Who else y'all listen to?
Kurt, all right. He just need to take them little pants off.
Pants off.
Yeah.
Tight.
He gonna get a yeast infection. Yeah. Man.
Actually, I listened to the project that Shiloh made.
Okay.
The first one. I listened to that most.
The first one?
The first project.
All right. Yeah.
Who else?
All y'all
Anybody else? That's a good project. That's a good project. It really is. The Shallow Project, Joe Pace featuring Shallow Squire. Joe Pace, incredible artist, has been in the industry forever. He recorded the Shallow Metropolitan Baptist Church Choir. You ought to get that project as well. Anybody
Lil
else?
Baby dropped a great album.
Little
That
Baby.
was a good album.
We go from Kurt Franklin to the Shallow.
We paid.
The Little Baby.
Great song.
Yeah.
We paid.
That was a good one. Son of a Preacher Man dropped as well. That was a
So
great
that's
album.
now that's a great
That was a
amp.
phenomenal
That's
album.
Amp the Pen, right?
Yeah, y'all cool.
Yeah.
That guy is talented.
He 90, but the boy can spit.
Amazing guy. Other projects coming out. Yeah, everybody ain't got the Beijing and spray paint to keep the hair black. But anyway,
Yeah.
let's draw these names out.
Haters gonna hate. Fish gonna swim, birds gonna fly. Haters gonna hate.
Come on up, young man. Draw this name for me and
Right.
read it out.
Right.
So our first laptop winner is
Bird family.
the Bird family.
Bird family.
The Bird family. Expect the phone call. Within the hour, we will be bringing you a laptop. Congratulations.
The Bird family. We
Next
draw
name.
names.
Tony. Got Tony.
Tony, expect
Tione.
a phone call.
Tione.
Expect the phone call. All right, last one. We're going to make it a good one. Don't get mad at me.
Jesus. No, I'm just playing.
Ethan, expect the phone call within the hour.
They've been around you too long. That quick. That quick.
Congratulations. So, Ethan,
You've been around him already.
That's my guy, that boy.
Oh, Lord.
I like that.
Oh,
Listen, that boy say Jesus won today. Huh? Is he winning in your life? Is he winning in your life?
Yeah.
God, I serve as a Jesus of laptop. Come on now.
A screen of possibilities.
Y'all say
for
Jesus.
tuning in.
Y'all say Jesus will be your everything. You need him to be a phone for you. Hey, thanks everybody for showing. Make sure y'all come
take your
to a
seatbelts,
Taste
brother.
of Miami. Make sure you all come to a Taste of Miami, 1440 Dunn Avenue. Want to thank Mr. Anthony Webster for this vision, Project Earbud. Of course, we've had fun. Thank Miss Jayla Barnes for being with us today. Isn't she lovely?
Yeah, man. She's trying to
Everybody
get you.
saying that.
He wants something else.
The only people that didn't smile is those that, they just don't like women.
I just want to say thank you for this opportunity for me and my guys here for this scene with Jimmy. Thank you for having us here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna keep
Represent well.
Appreciate it.
That's it.
So
Take
if
the
you,
charge.
free
Represent well.
backpacks are coming now. Those of you that won laptops, you'll be hearing from Mr. Webster. Any last final words?
No, sir, that's it. You all be safe, be productive, be positive this school year. make amazing things happen. Two
word
most
of
important
faith.
days of your life: the day you're born, the day you find out why.
Ooh, that's good, man.
Very
Make it
good.
happen.
It's the best
Word
thing
of
you
the
done
day,
said all day.
Jesus.